That's my father, that's my mom, that's me. My father was a spy when I was 40 something. One day I was driving a car. My father suddenly said, "Son, I'm old. I might sleep and never wake up. I have a secret to tell you. You are not Chan, not Jackie Chan. Your original name is a Fong."
Wait, so this is true? And I've been waiting to tell this story because it's so much crazier than Jackie Chan's father being a spy. So you can watch all of this in a 2003 documentary that Jackie Chan produced himself called Traces of a Dragon, Jackie Chan, A Long Lost Family. Here's Jackie Chan at one of the premieres. You can stream it right now at the other app that starts with a Y. So basically, this is Jackie Chan and his father in the documentary. So Jackie Chan's father grew up in Shandong, China, and like a lot of people from his town, he grew up doing martial arts, but he also loved pew-pews. And Jackie's father, who dropped out of school at the age of 9 years old, by the time he was 20 years old, was becoming a nuisance and an annoyance to his father, so his father pawned him off to one of his friends, a general. And Jackie's father worked for this family friend, General Gu, as an orderly armed with his own pew-pew until one day he accidentally fired that pew-pew, got scared, dropped it, and when it dropped, it continued to fire. So then Jackie's father got fired, and he ended up working on a Mitsubishi shipping boat, where Jackie Chan's father falls into smuggling work, which he claims wasn't technically illegal at the time until the Sino-Japanese War. You know, when Japan tried to take over China and the rest of Asia, and they decided because they weren't getting a cut that they were illegal, so they took Jackie Chan's father and 6 of his friends and threw him in jail. There's even a part in the documentary where Jackie Chan's father then talks about how the Japanese soldiers made him and his friends watch as they executed people with a samurai sword. And Jackie's father and 4 of his friends who managed to still stay alive only made it alive out of the prison because one of Jackie's father's family members had political connections and pleaded with the Japanese government to let them go. At which point, Jackie's father immediately returned to work for General Gu again, who got him a job as a secret at the Intelligence Bureau, aka a spy. And Jackie's father continued to get promoted up the Intelligence Bureau, and he got up so high that he even had 2 attempts on his life. The first where he was shot through the leg, and the second time just barely grazing the top of his head, to the point where he has a divot back there at the top of his head, but could have died if it was just even centimeters below. And then when Japan started doing air raids and dropping all over China, Jackie's father returned to his hometown where his parents both lost their lives in one of those airstrikes. So then Jackie's father has to flee his hometown, and then he meets a woman and he gets married to her, and he ends up having 2 sons. And it's in the middle of this documentary that's being shot roughly around the year 2000, around the time that Jackie Chan is about 40 years old, that he finds out from his father that he has siblings. Except around the time that his sons were around grade school age, a war breaks out in China between the communists and the nationalists. And Jackie's father, who was fighting for the nationalists when the communists started winning, had to flee and abandoned his family. And it's at that point that Jackie's father meets Jackie's mother, who also had 2 daughters of her own. And just like the Brady Bunch, they got together and had a big family and then had Jackie. Except, unlike Carol Brady, Jackie's mother was an opium smuggler. When Japan was doing the airstrikes that Jackie's father lost his parents to, his mother also lost her husband and had to run away with her 2 daughters, which now meant that she had to provide for her 2 kids and become the breadwinner, and she happened upon opium smuggling. Except one of those nights, she ended up getting caught, except when the authorities found out that she was a mother who was in grieving of her husband, caring for 2 young daughters, they let her go and let her even keep her supply. And that person was Jackie's father, who caught and arrested her. And they decided to fall in love and start a family together where Jackie Chan was born. Except because Jackie Chan's father was on the run from the communists in order to hide, even though his original last name is Fang, when he got married to Jackie's mother, he decided to take on her surname of Chan to continue to hide from them and evade. And after finding and reconnecting with his 2 older sons in around 1985, he then lost touch with his sons again for another 15 years until this documentary was made in around 2000. And even though Jackie Chan's father reconnects with his 2 older sons in this documentary that Jackie Chan produced and paid for, he forbade Jackie Chan from coming with him to see his 2 older sons, and as of 2003, Jackie Chan had still not met his 2 older brothers. But yeah, if it wasn't for espionage and drug smuggling, we never would have gotten Jackie Chan.